Do not be worried or afraid because of the generational differences. People who are more seasoned than you are, they are more than happy to give you some color around why they chose to go to that company or why they chose to go in that industry or what they learned the hard way or an easier way to actually do something. And you should take advantage of that. As an intern, you're going to work with all kinds of colleagues with different work habits, different work styles, different ways of communicating. For the next 10 weeks as an intern, I want you to think of yourself as a sponge. Almost everyone you meet, I want you to think about, what can I learn from this person? Can I learn something about the way they speak? Can I try to absorb some of their expertise about this particular product or the way to do this kind of assignment? But this entire 10 weeks, you should not only be assessing whether or not this is a good industry for you, whether or not this is the right kind of company for you, whether or not this is the right kind of culture for you, but you should also be thinking, what can I learn that will make me a different person on the other side of this experience? I'm starting it in May, and by the time I get to August, there needs to be at least 3 new things that I have learned experientially or intellectually. And that should be your mission every day that you walk into your organization. None of the work gets done by itself. It all gets executed by somebody. So what you want to do is to build a relationship with people. Do not be worried or afraid because of the generational differences. People who are more seasoned than you are, they are more than happy to give you some color around why they chose to go to that company or why they chose to go in that industry or what they learned the hard way or an easier way to actually do something. And you should take advantage of that. Now, if you're a little bit nervous or you think you are an introvert, you don't know how to get those conversations going, here are a few tips. Hi, I'm Pam. I'm here for the next 10 weeks, and I am a sophomore at X or a senior, rising senior at Y. I'd love to spend 5 or 10 minutes with you to understand your experience here, how long you've been here, why you made the choice to come. Or if you're sitting next to somebody, you should say, do they do these town halls every month? Do they do them every quarter? What kind of questions do people ask? Then you say, how long have you been here? Where did you do your undergrad? Or what brought you to this company? And remember, you can ask pretty much the same questions of the first 4 or 5 people that you meet. In most cases, they're not all working together and they're not colluding to say, what did she ask you? Or what was he talking about? People understand that you're the intern and that you want to learn as much as you can, not only about that job, but about the industry, about the company, and they're flattered that you're interested in learning about them. Generally, once you start the conversation with, this is who I am, would love to get to know you, or why have you been here, you're well on your way to starting a great conversation. And after 10 minutes, and I always aim for about 10 minutes, because frankly, any of us can keep a conversation going for 10 minutes. Some people can't go beyond 10, and many people can't do a 30-minute conversation. So don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. 10 minutes is all you need to engage. And then you give yourself a check mark, and next week you try to find something else that you can talk about for another 5 or 10 minutes. There's always something going on over a summer internship. Make sure that every morning you are checking the news, checking the Wall Street Journal, checking the New York Times, or checking your city's main newspaper to make sure that the company that you're working in, that they're not on the front page of the paper that day. And if they are, you ought to know that story, because that will be the buzz that is happening in the office that day, and you want to be able to ask questions or engage in a conversation. Making sure that you check the news broadly so that when you're walking into your internship, that you are ready with what's happened in society overnight, what's happened in the world overnight, because you want to show yourself as a professional, even an emerging professional, that is engaged and interested in what's going on around them. Then lastly, when you go to the social events at your company, Make sure that you show up and that you show up on time, even if you have to leave early. Because whenever someone is making a decision about giving you a full-time offer, they're making that decision based on 3 things. Your can-do. Did you do the work? Did you do it well? Your will-do. Did you have a great attitude the entire summer? They never saw you upset or angry or sulking. You always were enthusiastic, had a smile on your face, ready to go. And then the last thing that they're assessing is the fit. Are you one of them? Do you feel like a team player? Do you understand enough about the company's culture to be of that culture over those 10 weeks? If you can give them the impression that it's a check, check, check on can do, will do, and fit, you'll get that offer. Go get them.